Welcome into DC on Screen, a podcast about the DC Universe properties being brought to film and television. I'm your host, David C. Robertson.
Woo! Hell yeah!
Nice to have company,
isn't
isn't
it? This is my co-host, Jason.
Hi.
And we have a...
Jason! Woo! Hell yeah!
As you guys heard, we have a special guest, I'll say in studio, because it's really just my bedroom.
Whatever, man. This is a luscious studio you have here.
Matt Carroll.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about all the woos. Hell yes. That's what I do at home when I'm listening to the podcast. It's my first time being here.
That is not what he does at home. At home, he just shakes his head and goes, jackasses.
I mean, I'm normally in the shower. I prefer to listen to this podcast in the shower.
So he can't hear us.
I highly recommend it.
I don't want to know where you're touching yourself while you're listening to
No,
us,
that's probably a good way to
like
weed out the times where you would waste time touching yourself in the shower. Like you put on our voices and you're like, cool, no time wasted, in and out.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
It's all business from here and out.
Right.
Here on out.
So Matt is from the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast.
Woo! Hell yeah! Thanks,
alrighty.
Jason.
So we are going to be talking about the big Batman versus Superman trailer that dropped, the big 3-minute thing that, and I do mean thing, that they shat upon us.
That has divided the internet in twain.
Right.
So it sounds like you guys might feel similarly to me. As soon as this thing dropped, I was like, Dave, I don't know if you guys have plans to do a response, but whenever you do, I would like to be there.
Of course.
I've never been on the show, and I'm excited to be on the show. But I think this would be a perfect opportunity. Although, I was really hoping to come on the show and defend Gotham. I wanted to be here for a positive reason, but this thing happened.
Right. Well, you can come back to defend Gotham another day.
I know, but
It'll
this
be
is
all
a
right.
bad
needs
introduction to me. I'm normally such a positive guy. This trailer pissed me off. You guys curse on this podcast, right?
We do.
It
Right.
pissed me the fuck off.
All right.
I had trouble with that when I came onto the MCU cast for a sec, because I started talking and at some point I was cussing and I thought, well, I hope that's okay, because I'm doing it now.
We used to try to keep it kind of clean, or PG-13 is what we used to say.
Right,
But I
right.
think we've just abandoned it at this point. We still try to keep the fucks to a minimum.
That's a good life rule, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In general.
You don't want to dilute the fucks. They gotta maintain their potency.
Right. If you oversaturate the fucks, completely loses all meaning.
Can we talk about the trailer now?
Absolutely. Who's first?
Okay, so right out of the gate, I doubt it very much that Clark Kent would not know who Bruce Wayne was.
Right? He's not just a bad reporter. He's like a bad at being a person in the world.
Well, you know, I kind of get the feeling that Lois kind of just like, I don't know, faked some of his credentials. Because I don't remember him going to college. I just remember him wandering around aimlessly listening to Chris Cornell in the wilderness.
Yeah.
In Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So
all right.
it's not like he has
Thank you
any
for
so
saying it
real...
was
much
Cornell
negative
and
to
not
say.
Pearl Jam. That bothered me.
We've got so much negative to say. I say we steer clear of talking about Man of Steel.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
But, you know...
Not a bad call.
I'm the host. I'm the host, Matt. This isn't your show.
I'm just joking. I thought it was funny.
No, you can't really steer clear of Man of
I
Steel,
know,
though,
it's
because
just a joke,
sadly, I get
thing
it.
is-
I get it. I get your joke, man. I'm just saying, sadly, this is the precedent that was set. Man of Steel was the
it's so
precedent
bad.
that was set. And we should have known.
The sad thing is, there's nothing in this trailer I don't like, really, except for Lex Luthor and bad CGI Doomsday and Clark Kent not knowing who Bruce is. Other than that, this trailer looks pretty good to me.
Okay.
What pisses me the most off is how much they showed of the movie.
Right.
See, that doesn't bother me.
See,
That bothers me so much.
I thought deeply about that criticism, and what I came up with was, and I went back and looked, and sure enough, everything you saw is in the synopsis, so it's not exactly information we didn't already have. Plus, it's BVS.
Doomsday's not in the synopsis, is he?
It says
Well,
there's
he's not in
a
the trailer either.
Valid point.
But it's also like, did we not know that they were going to team up at some point? That's not a spoiler for me. Now,
Right.
that's what you start wondering. Like, if this is the plot, this looks like a perfectly workable plot to a movie, right? Now, what's going to get really weird is if they actually are playing this, and there are so many fucking twists in this thing Like, that actually scares me more than the idea that I've already kind of seen the movie.
That doesn't scare me more. I would love that. I would love if this is the first 15 minutes. And then they start fighting because, Doomsday causes so much havoc, and they're like, no, I didn't want to defeat him that way. I want to defeat him this way. And then they go at it.
Right.
Like, that's great.
At this point, I'm kind of worried that Chris Terrio just kind of came in to punch up Ben Affleck's dialogue. Because this all does feel very much like Goyer.
Who is Chris Terrio and what is Goyer?
Chris Terrio, writer, David Goyer, one of the Four Horsemen.
Right, Goyer. I hate Goyer.
David Goyer wrote, I think all 3 Batman, Dark Knight movies.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize his last name. I normally say his whole David S. Goyer, right?
We've just gotten so used to bitching about him that we do it in shorthand.
Yes,
Right.
sorry.
Right.
When you,
I
didn't know who Chris Terrio was.
When you replace, Satan with the devil.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
You have a...
Yeah,
You get really bad day at work, you totally got Goyered.
yeah.
I realized at some point that all of the DC movies I didn't like had his name on them. I was like,
Right.
Actually,
the common thread.
If you go back and look, all the Marvel movies you didn't like had Goyer's name on.
Oh, really?
That's a good point.
Like Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah?
Ghost Rider Spirit Within, or whatever that was called. The third Blade movie.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So how does he keep getting jobs?
Because he is the puppet master.
Right. We don't know. We assume he
is
has
the name of a film he
extremely delicate blackmail on information on a lot of important people.
Yeah.
I really am upset that he's still involved.
So yeah, Lex Luthor is way too funny.
Yeah, well, goofy.
Goofy funny. Yeah, he reminds me of Carrie's Riddler in
Riddler,
Batman
yeah.
Forever.
I
Or
could
any
see
version
that.
of the Joker.
And here's what's really weird to me. Why would Lex Luthor give 2 damns if Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne met? If he hadn't, I'm just hoping he already figured out that they were Superman and Batman because he's Lex Luthor and maybe, one of the top 3 smartest people in the world.
Look, I can forgive that, though. I've seen people who actually work a room that way, who will come up and make bizarre little introductions like that.
Yeah, I'm sitting next to one of them. But
Absolutely, it's his party. It's his party. So it's possible that he's working the room, and that's his public face that he puts on. But maybe that's not the real Lex. But see, I say that. I've heard other people say that, and I was like, oh, that's a good point. But then you see that scene with Lois, and he's like, that's a 3-syllable word for things little minds don't understand.
Right.
Which I love that line, but not coming from Lex.
Here's the thing, though. This trailer is full of lines that are really, really good the first time you hear them, and then the second and third time, or the more you think about them, they're incredibly ham-fisted.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is one of the
maybe
times
it's the Gotham in me, but we have a bad history with freaks who dress up like clowns.
I do love that line still.
I like the line, and then I went back and went, oh, you know what? That's kind of dumb.
No, it hung in there. Look, the one line, with Lex in particular, I don't think I'm going to mind goofy Lex as much if they had a really dark counterpoint that I could dig into. If he had a public personality versus the private one, that'd be fine.
Right.
It's just that the part of the dark Lex that we're used to, what they gave us was that, and ham-fisted is a perfect word for, what is it, if man won't kill God, then the devil will, or something?
Yeah.
That sounded like some 9th grade philosophical report bullshit.
Yep. It did.
Yeah.
I wasn't impressed.
It did. Now, everyone's freaking out because of the design of Doomsday. Honestly, I didn't have a problem with the design because I know he does evolve in the comics, so I wasn't even worried about that.
It's precedented.
And quite honestly, I just thought the CGI was really bad. The CGI being really bad was one of my big problems, and I have to wonder where the money's going. I mean, officially it was a $200 million budget, and unofficially $410 from what I'm understanding. So.
Whoa.
What the hell did they spend that money on? Because I'm looking at bad tracking on a bad green screen.
Yeah, but just Doomsday. Just Doomsday. That's the thing.
No, not just Doomsday. The big money shot with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman at the end.
That shot looks amazing.
It does not look amazing. Go back and look at it. They look like the in the old Capcom games, where when if you're not fighting with your character and they're just standing there, they're just kind of moving back and forth in that rote animation. That's exactly what it looks like. There's just.
I really think they're counting on, by that point in the movie, you've already worked through a couple of the singles you snuck into the theater and you don't notice that shit.
Now, I did want to bring up our friend Brandon Davis made a comment. He said, Doomsday looks awful. He looks like a Michael Bay Ninja Turtle.
Beat Bay. Hashtag Beat Bay.
Why can't they just make Doomsday like he did in the comics? He looked so much better. Why do you have to change it? Nobody gives a shit about your artistic vision.
Thank you, Brandon. That was great.
That last line needs to be stapled on a writer's room somewhere. Maybe just
don't change things unless there's a reason to change them.
Right.
Unless you have a reason, and like Dave said, it might be an early form of his evolution.
Yeah, that's
he could easily change within the film. Like this little money shot could be at like the 40-minute mark before we realize he can evolve and go, and he can adapt quickly. What they described
what was
some
confusing
sign
is
about what was the scene that you described earlier about like Wonder Woman cuts off his arm and it like grows back as a sword or something?
Yeah, that is like a apparently a big spoiler / rumor thing going on.
Right.
That's like has been reported for like months and months and months by the same cats who said it was Doomsday and have said it was Doomsday all along.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So and the creative team is pulling I feel like they were like pulling their magic box shit that like J.J. Abrams tried to pull in Star Trek Into Darkness. Like, no, it's not Khan. It's not Khan. Okay, it's Khan. And I feel like they're just trying to get ahead of that because they've been saying it's not Daredevil. Like Daredevil. God,
it
Doomsday
sure as hell
for like. No, it's not. They've been saying it's not Doomsday for like a year, the better part of a year at least.
Guys, I gotta say that is the worst Daredevil costume I've ever seen.
Even including
worse than the Netflix show.
Right.
That big gray Daredevil suit, I do not like it.
Right.
With the bones protruding.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's
really weird. No one cares about your artistic vision.
So yeah,
I got one. All right, how are y'all going to feel about this? If they're insinuating that Batman is branding people, is there like any world in which you're willing to accept that?
Absolutely
not.
I absolutely buy it. He breaks arms and whatever. Like, I think if Batman's branding people, it's fine. I think it's possible it's like his helpers or like Sons of Batman or whatever.
That's my favorite explanation so far. It's Sons of Batman out there somewhere.
That's fine. But I think if he's branding people, like, why is that against Batman's code? Like, why don't you buy it?
I guess
within the course of a battle, sure. He never
but
if you're branding somebody, that means you've already beaten them and you're enforcing further pain, which isn't true to my version of the character.
You know what?
And then within a fight, you absolutely knock somebody fucking unconscious, but
yeah, I've seen versions of it where he like ties them up and hangs them from places and has like a little card on it that has a bat symbol on it, which I always kind of thought was goofy.
Yeah, but also kind of funny and pretty great. I could deal with that all day.
Yeah. Well, he usually only did that when he was like trying to give the middle finger to Bullock.
Right.
Like, we don't know if he really did this. Blah blah. He's probably in cahoots with these guys. Harvey.
Well, I mean, Luthor's trying to set him up anyway. I'm half willing to think that it's Lex actually having like criminals hunted down and branded just to piss off Superman a little bit more, like just to set him against each other.
Yeah.
What you're saying, Jason, reminds me of a scene in Arkham Knight, which obviously Arkham Knight isn't the definitive Batman, but to me,
Jason hasn't played it yet, so he doesn't.
This is a very early scene, and it's not. It's more dialogue than it's not a spoiler.
Like, if it's in the first third, I'll be entirely happy with it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, then you've seen this. Batman captures one of the bad guys. He interrogates him and then says, "All right, you stop working for whoever, or I'll break the other one." And he's like, "The other what?" And Batman just snaps his hand in half. Oh, God. And that's a Batman I like. Like, a little pain toward criminals. He's all about crippling criminals.
Yeah, like in Arkham City, where every time he interrogates somebody, it's always a question of like, how many bones do you think I need to break before you tell me everything? Like,
am I wrong in just thinking that Matt might be totally the exact fan base, the exact tribe for Frank Miller's
I'm the goddamn
All-Star
Batman
and Robin?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just saying
Isn't that the
constantly.
one that everyone hates?
Yes.
Yes.
But I might like it. Yeah, that's
like,
fine.
Yeah, like the first issue is like he has just saved Dick Grayson from the orphanage and takes him back to the Batcave and makes him eat rats in training.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like it's
now,
like
see, that's not. I don't like that. That's not. I'm not the target. Just because I wanted to break criminals' hands doesn't mean I wanted to make a young boy eat rats. Like that's all. Those are two different
Slippery
things.
slope, Matt. Slippery slope.
I don't. I don't think it is. I don't know. I don't like him treating... I always... It's always the worst part of the character for me. It's also one of the most compelling parts of the character, how poorly he treats his wards. Like, and I don't even mean, like, raising them to be fighters. Like, that's fine with me. Raising them to be boy soldiers. Fine, whatever. It's like, that happens in the real world.
He's just looking out for him.
Those people aren't heroes.
Right.
But he's training them to be soldiers in a war he believes in. But then he treats them like shit and never gives them any positive reinforcement once they get old enough to need it.
Yeah, that's the part.
Like,
there's like a support group for Robins at this point.
yeah,
where they just
there needs to be.
It's the, like, Daddy never loved me, he never approved of anything, all that stuff. Like, every now and then, if I've seen instances where Batman just stays silent, and they take it as, like, it's Stockholm Syndrome. Like, the lack of abuse is seen as kindness.
Right.
Yeah, like, he didn't tell me I was awful today.
Right. Batman, I must have done good.
No, here's the thing, though. First of all, I'm still reading the Batman comics, so this still stays true. Yes, those things are present, but the ones who can cut it understand and cope with it. Like Dick Grayson, he's had his problems with Batman, but he realizes, like, Bruce has got some problems.
Right.
And at the end of the day, though, like, there's a great issue of, I think it was Gotham Knights, where Bruce actually does just, like, bring him in and hands him an envelope, and he's like, what's this? And he's like, something I should have done long ago. He opens it up, and Bruce has adopted him. And, like, Dick breaks down, and they both, like, hug and whatnot. And that, you know, is...
I like that. I like that version.
It's a really well-earned moment, though, after the years of abuse, right?
Right, but there's also a bit where...
You just... All you really wanted is the abusive guy to adopt the kid. Like, that's really what you wanted from this story.
There's also a storyline where he openly tells Nightwing, you know, you and Tim, you have taken your crime-fighting persona, and it's become a part of you, and it's become an extension of you. But Batman is something I've started to hide behind. Like, so he's got his issues that he has to work through. But at the same time, like, he's got Damian now, and he doesn't treat Damian anything like he treated the others.
He damn well shouldn't. Damian's a weird little fucker.
Son. Well, no, yeah, but he takes a lot of pride in Damian, too.
Well,
like,
I mean...
I haven't read any of this yet.
Damian,
my son could kick your son's ass.
Damian has openly noted, like, looking back and being happy that his father is smiling while watching him swing through the city. So, like, there are different... Like, the one who actually has a problem with it is Jason Todd, which I guess he should be. He was the one that got
didn't
killed.
work out for him.
Well, killed in quotation marks.
Look,
he was brought back.
For
every canon.
For Batman,
he died for years and years, though.
For all of his, like...
he did die.
Depends on the canon.
No, he did die.
Depends on the canon. Not in the some canons. I don't even want to delete that, probably.
So anyway,
I think that one could loop around. Look, give Batman this, though. In all of his abusiveness, I've never one time, and all the times where one of the Robins has decided to, punch him in the fucking face because he's an asshole. They fight about it for a sec. I've never seen him, like, turn around and go, how dare you? It's always kind of a, I had that coming.
Anyway, I feel like the way he treats his wards is a little different than the way he treats criminals. He is constantly breaking criminals' arms and legs, and so branding to me seems almost like a lesser thing to do. It's not going to cripple you. I don't know. I like the tougher Batman that's a little tougher on crime.
See, I might be okay with it I don't know, because I'm getting very afraid that this is going to be him branding criminals to show that he's back, and I don't want him to have ever gone anywhere.
I'll agree with that. I'm not arguing that. Like I'm just arguing for the branding. I'm fine with the branding. I don't want him to leave either.
Yeah, I don't understand the notion, and apparently it's a Goyer thing. Goyer just loves the idea that Batman quits.
Yeah,
like, he just loves the hell out of that. Like, he's just like, of course Batman would quit.
He's like turned into a Rocky story over on Pursuit of the Trivial, my other podcast, one of my other podcasts.
Well plugged, sir.
Me and Spencer have been talking about the Rocky movies, and we've been noting that in every Rocky movie after the first one, he comes out of retirement to fight again.
He does.
Right.
Every single time.
He does.
At the threat of his health and the threat of everything, he comes out of retirement
and
then retires again.
He's the Celine Dion of boxing.
Yeah.
Because he...
Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. He doesn't... He says they say there's not going to be a rematch, and then they put on a rematch anyway.
Because everyone keeps saying that Rocky basically beat Apollo.
No, it is two. He does retire in 2.
Does he retires?
He doesn't retire in 3. Is the one he does retire. We just had this whole discussion. We just watched them all.
It's
in
been a
2,
while.
he does retire, and then he goes back to fight Apollo. In 3, he does not retire. He starts on top, and he's like beating all the other.
Yeah, but he's gotten sloppy and lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You could say
because Mick has been bringing in amateurs to fight him.
Well, Mick has been setting up easy fights. He's just been taking care of him, Dave. He's just been taking care of him.
Okay.
He didn't want him to get hurt again. What?
What is that?
That's my Mickey voice.
That's become a strangely English accent. I don't.
Sorry.
Anyway,
we gotta go see Creed tonight.
so are we all in agreement that there were parademons in that Batman fighting?
If those aren't, they look a whole hell of a lot like them.
A lot of people are saying this, and so and that's really the only reason I bring it up. I don't necessarily think that desert sequence is going to be a dream sequence.
Yeah, no, actually, it was officially stated
By who?
one of the costume designers. He officially stated that was a nightmare vision sequence that Batman has.
Oh,
Right.
Well, it is called. There's also a toy
I know.
where that toy is called Nightmare Batman.
Right, with a K.
With a K, yeah. Whoop. So yeah. It definitely looks like there was parademons, though, which is, even if it's not in the movie, or it's not in the action of the movie, it's still like is showing foreshadowing towards Darkseid.
If there are parademons, then that makes it more than just a nightmare. That's something reaching out to Batman's brain.
That part is what was confusing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to...
That's a valid point. Unless he's faced parademons before.
But if you freeze frame that shit, it is not... those aren't human. They're just not. That's not like a dude with a strap-on set of Tinkerbell wings. It's not...
I sent this into the...
You would know. You've seen a lot of those.
This was more of a reaction to the 50-second clip, but that clip that shows Superman pulling off his mask,
Right.
To me, does not look like a revealing or an unmasking of Batman per se, but just like he's rounding up criminals. In that cave, there's a bunch of other dudes strapped up the same way Batman is,
and one of them looks like one of them looks like he's dressed like one of the sons of Batman, like from the Dark Knight Returns.
Interesting.
Like he's got it looks like he's got like a black bat shadow painted over his eyes.
Cool.
I'm not sure if that's true, if that's just my imagination at this point.
Okay.
I haven't been able to tell. I've looked over a couple times since you said that, and I can't. I really can't tell.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I just think, to me, it doesn't look like he's after Batman in that scene. It looks like he's just like rounding up people and putting them in some sort of prison.
Well, I mean, from the previous sequence, it looked like Batman just kind of stormed whatever stronghold that was.
Yeah.
And they just took him down.
But if it's a dream sequence, almost none of that matters. Well, not that it doesn't matter, because it could be integral to what's going on in Batman's head.
Well, remember, though, let's not forget, though, that there was a very vivid, similar dream sequence in Man of Steel, when Zod and Superman are talking, and Superman's sinking into that mountain of skulls.
Yeah, it's true.
So I don't know maybe it's Kryptonian technology, maybe Batman comes into contact with some Kryptonian technology.
Or it's a Superman dream.
I don't know.
But I don't know why.
He wouldn't know about parademons either. There's no way these guys sneak in without them being part of reality.
Yeah, unless it's some sort. Yeah, you said, unless it's somehow the Kryptonian technology or something communicating to their subconscious or something. The parademons is very interesting for sure.
That would be a stretch even for something that Goyer's touched. The subliminal messages from the fortress thing. That's a lot. And these guys are clearly wearing like the same outfits it's as the Super Troopers. I don't know, man. I don't know where the hell that leads us.
I really am just most pissed off about the fact that we see the shot of Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman together pisses me off so much.
Why?
Because the movie is called Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
I understand.
Just because they fight together doesn't mean Batman still can't sue them.
I understand that it's a superhero movie and they're probably going to end up on the same side in the end.
Sure.
Well, it's also
they will.
It's called Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. I mean, this was inherent.
That's true. I want those to be a colon and not like a comma, and then Dawn of Justice.
Believe me,
two separate things.
Believe me, it's a colon. We're gonna find this movie is full of shit.
Right.
I just didn't like it. That really took me out of the whole thing. I'm like, I really feel like I've seen the whole movie. No, the whole struggle between Batman and Superman, it feels like it's over by the end of this trailer.
Well, sure.
And it just bothers me.
It was over before I saw the trailer. Like, that's not a surprise to me.
Sure.
What was a surprise to me is how, like, comical Batman is.
I really liked how comical Batman is.
Yeah, no, I can't get behind that, man. Like,
that reminded me so much. That smile he gives reminds me so much of the
what smile?
No, the little the smirk at the how do you feel about the Bat
smirk.
Vigilante?
Oh, how do you feel to the Bat Vigilante? And he goes
that
smile he gives is so straight out of the animated series to me.
I agree with you. That wasn't what I was talking about. Yeah, I love
that eat shit smirk.
I wasn't talking about that. I'm talking about, like, you know, Wonder Woman comes in, kicks ass, and Superman's like, "She with you?" And Batman's like, "No, I thought she was with you."
Yeah, but they don't like.
that
one didn't bother me too much.
Know.
It's not like they played it up. It wasn't like it was the Ant-Man trailer or something. It was just kind of something.
Totally
that was a little
played
fun.
it up.
It was funny in context.
Think they played it up too much. I thought it was funny in the I think in the context of the movie, it'll be in the middle of a long tense scene. It'll feel right. I do feel like it felt a little forced, like they were trying to throw jokes into this trailer.
That part is where I think it fucked with people, because you already have Lex being weird. You've got the little smirk up front and the joke about the clown, the little sidebars, and then that at the end. People felt like it was copycatting.
Honestly, they could have just done the zoom in on those three and left the scene alone, and it would have been fine.
I feel like you know. Like, with me, like, Batman is such a sacred cow for me that, like, I'm analyzing every little movement. Like, I don't like the way he, like, takes his eyes off of what is clearly, like, the big threat to look at Superman and be like, "I thought she was with you." If he was going to say that, which I feel like Batman would have known who Wonder Woman is, because she's been around for a few hundred years at this point, like 600 years or so. I feel like he would have known who she was by virtue of him being Batman and just prepared for every damn thing imaginable. And that's kind of what made the Superman v Batman idea work anyway for me, is that he wasn't prepared for Superman or Zod. Like, this was something that caught him completely off guard. This is shit from another world that he's got to deal with now. And he's been in Gotham for 20 years. I feel like if Wonder Woman's been on Earth for 600 years, definitely Batman has found out about it.
Yeah, but it doesn't, like, those don't really, it's either a problem with how they're writing it, or it's something we have to accept that there will be an explanation for, because how could he be dealing with, you know, an imbued god in Wonder Woman and then not, like, completely think, oh yeah, well, that makes sense, when he sees Superman show up? That should follow if he already knows there's a Wonder Woman.
It kind of depends on how what Wonder Woman's, like, past has been.
If
she showed up in World War I, fought in some battle to save humanity, but it was always, like, a secret and no one ever really knew about it, and then she's just showing back up here 80 years later. Right. Then that could make sense.
As long as they give me a plausible... I mean, I'm not asking Batman to be omniscient here. As long as they give me a plausible explanation for why she's not on his radar, I can deal with it.
Yeah. I think that, too, that you were saying it's the only reason it makes sense for them to go up against each other or whatever. It also is him being Batman is the only reason it makes sense that a human could go up against Superman.
Well,
like, his ability to, like, map out everything and know all the threats is the only reason it's even, like, remotely possible that this fight could go well for him.
Right.
I'm very excited to see the fight, and I really wanted that to be the meat of the movie. I honestly didn't care if there was a villain. I would love to see a movie that's actually about two superheroes fighting, which is why Civil War is going to be so much better.
Right.
It's going to be so much better, you guys.
I don't know about that.
That trailer was badass.
It
was pretty badass. It really was.
See, that's the thing.
That little line from Tony, but I was your friend too. It was heartbreaking.
Oh gosh, that broke my heart. And it's possible that by the end of that movie, they'll be friends, or not, maybe not friends. They may have come around to each other's sides, or maybe Tony just feels bad about what happened, or whatever.
Right.
But they didn't show that in the trailer.
Right.
It's a Civil War movie.
Again, this is the first Civil War trailer. This is the second Batman v Superman trailer.
Yeah, so Marvel hasn't had time to screw that pitch yet.
Batman v Superman. Yeah.
You're right. I'm really tired of these fucking trailers ruining movies. I feel like I'd seen all of Age of Ultron when it came out.
Well, I mean, I've seen so many movies at this point, I feel like they're ruined before I ever see a trailer. Like, I can pretty much just guess what's going to happen.
If you see a few elements, though, it's just like you really can piece together. Oh, this one,
you really can.
This is from the beginning, that's from the end, this goes here, and that's the whole story. And I really like to at least see something for the first time on screen.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That big power shot, for instance, I didn't need that now. Save that and let me give you like the $12, $13 to go in there and earn that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't want to, I'd rather expect the bad shot in the theater than have paid $13 and then sitting there and going like, why are they against a cartoon backdrop and why do they look like Capcom characters?
I don't know.
And they all three kind of look like they were against different. Like I'm not sure they're in the same room together.
Oh, I guarantee you they're not.
I doubt they are. But I thought that CGI was good. I'm opposed. I think the Doomsday. I think Doomsday looks really
keep
stupid.
That.
I think Doomsday. I think Doomsday looks awful, but I think they look really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the shots of Batman. My favorite shot and the most like an Arkham game is the part where he like flies up into that gargoyle and then shoots his grappling gun and takes off again before the heat blast blows up the building.
I think part of the internet's going to be right about that. When you look at the size of that blast, it really does look a lot more like a Doomsday blast than a single single
I think that's probably going to be, which annoys me because that was one of my shining moments where I thought, oh, Superman's actually going to shoot an eye blast at him. Like he's kind of taking the gloves off a little bit,
right?
But no, it looks like
I guarantee you, like Superman, and I knew this in the first trailer. Superman is not going to ever try to kill Batman. Like
he gives him a line about
that's how he'll,
if I wanted you dead, you would be.
Yeah. So I mean,
one thing that doesn't make sense about that though is like we know there's that scene where they go up against each other and he has the big mechanical armor, which I would think would be after the scene where they're fighting when he's in like regular Batman armor. But it seems like Doomsday comes in while he has the regular armor on. So when does that? Are they going to fight again later? I don't know. It's interesting. That gives me a little hope that it might be a little confusing.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say the armor is the first time he fights him. Period.
I don't think it'll be as straightforward as we're fearing, but
I hope not.
But that gets me back to what I was worried about originally. Like, what are the twists, and how far are you going to reach to get to those twists?
Well, based on Man of Steel, I would say if we just put the two trailers we've already seen together, we might actually have the best possible version of the movie.
That is a good point.
I feel like there might be a lot of like really slow bits with like Perry White telling Clark not to worry about Batman or something, and Lois being kind of weepy and touching his chest.
Yeah.
And then Lex touches her forehead.
Probable.
Right. Be all gropey for a second there.
I don't mind a little downtime in this movie, but I want it to hit the ground running. We have a lot to do in this movie.
We
got to establish Lex, establish Doomsday, establish Wonder Woman. Apparently, have cameos from Aquaman and the Flash.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
And get all of that happening. I don't know. It just seems a little like you got to get to work.
And they're swearing that Wonder Woman isn't going to be shoehorned; that she's going to have her own actual plot in this thing that will make sense and tie in it. But that seems like a lot of movie, doesn't it?
Well, I don't trust Goyer or Snyder to understand what an arc is.
I trust Snyder.
I trust Snyder. I'll give him
I don't trust Goyer at all.
I feel like Snyder just kind of just films whatever's on the page. He's just like, okay, that now, okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it is a great job. I think he films wonderfully what's on the page.
Yeah,
but
except for when he decides to just do it in post and we get that last shot.
I just don't see it. I love that last shot.
I don't. And you know what else I don't like? I don't like when when Doomsday jumps out of that building and then slides down, crumbling. It looks like he's tumbling down. And then he goes into the smoke at the bottom where it's settling and then slides out like a freaking cartoon character.
It's weird.
And I'm like, no, he's tumbling and then he surfs. Physics. I mean, that's not how that works.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that whole thing just looks so bad. It didn't look like it was in that same world at all. It looked like a cartoon for real.
Yeah, I mean...
No good. All right.
Do you think there's any chance, honest to God, that they actually released this thing just to make sure they tempered expectations?
We've considered that.
Wow. That is some pessimistic shit.
It's also some real shit. It would work.
Oh, I don't...
Like, first of all, they're like, look, everyone is saying it's Doomsday, and we've said it's not Doomsday. Why don't we just go ahead and say it's not? Because this is going to look really bad. Like, let me ask you this. Kevin Tsujihara says he's seen the film multiple times. Mm-hmm. Why would he have seen it multiple times if there wasn't a ton of shit to fix?
Apparently, he just really liked it. Like, he went home and watched it several times.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he says.
Yeah.
Well, of course that's what he said, because the news leaked that there were multiple viewings.
I definitely don't think that they're intentionally lowering expectations, because that's not what marketing does. Like, even
It never
if the
lowers
movie's
them,
horrible,
but it does call them tempering sometimes.
Yeah.
only I don't agree. I think that they want the expectations to be as high as possible because they want the butts in the seats. They only care how much money this movie makes. Like, they want it to be liked by the fans,
Right.
but they mostly care
They
how much
need it
money
to
this movie
support
But
the
part
rest
of
of this
that is getting
franchise they've
legs
already got
on it.
money into.
Right, they've got to worry about it having legs, not just opening weekend, especially with Civil War coming out
Right.
shortly after.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's going to be a minute before we
So-
see another one of their movies, so we're going to have to kind of remember this thing and remember it well. Mm-hmm. Bottom line is we got to like it.
If they're trying to temper expectations, they're trying to temper expectations of the comic book fans, or like the genre fans like ourselves. And I think this trailer is designed mostly to pump up people who don't know anything about this stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're putting out this trailer to try to bring in people who are not us.
I mean,
There aren't that
maybe.
many left.
We've taken them all over.
I'm
It's like Marvel's brought them in. They did the hard work for DC. I don't understand what the problem is.
You know, that's the only actual justification I can come up with for why they did the money shot right now. Because either there's a better money shot somewhere in there, or they needed to make sure that everyone knew Wonder Woman's here too, so it got a few more people asses in seats. Because the rest of us were already going to see this. You already had our money. I mean, I'd buy the ticket now and just wait. So showing me
Possibly.
that money shot with just Batman and Superman it didn't add anything to the equation. But showing me Wonder Woman there too.
Right.
Yeah, and they did show that like money shot of her in the first one, in the first trailer as well, just to show her there. But this was definitely a more clear, like, hey, it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I mean,
I think honestly, I
glimpsed
think
her
this
the
was meant
first
for
time.
people. What now?
they like glimpsed her the first time though. This was the first time. I guess
Right.
they wanted to make sure people knew. No, seriously, she's really in the movie.
Right.
We gave her lines and everything.
I think that shot was for people who honestly were like, "What? Batman and Superman fighting? Why don't they work together?"
Right. And I've met a fair amount of people who were like that.
Yeah.
Like, people don't fully understand that, I don't know, that it can be cool to have two protagonists with opposite views.
Yeah. And they're both good guys.
It just seemed like the point of the trailer was to go, everyone quiet the hell down. We're giving you all the stuff you asked for. Here, look. Here's a glimpse of all the stuff you asked for. Well, shut up. We'll see you in March. I
I don't feel like they're giving me what I asked for.
I wanted Kevin Conroy in a batsuit, though.
Yeah.
I share that. I share that vision. Don't mind.
I loved everything about Ben Affleck in this trailer, though.
I did not. I was sorely disappointed with Ben Affleck.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I liked him so far. It's not like he.
I'm like, he's sitting in his car. He's like putting his hands up because he's afraid of like the deadly blast. Like, my Batman would just squint and frown. Be like, well, if I get past this one, he knows his hands aren't gonna like protect him from a freaking Kryptonian blast.
Yeah, it's a weirdly human kind of reaction for somebody like Batman. I'll give it that. But
Yeah, it's
I don't know what shot you're talking about, I guess.
we're like
the
Doom. It shows the oh shit.
before I guess Wonder Woman
Oh, yeah.
comes in and destroys half the city on his behalf.
Yeah, which also a thing Batman wouldn't say.
I'm fine with
I don't have a problem with Batman cussing. Superman, different conversation.
It's not about cursing. It's about like he became Data in Star Trek Generations. Like it's not about the cursing. It's just about like Batman being that damn surprised about anything,
Yeah.
and that worried and useless. I don't know.
Well, he is going up against Kryptonians here.
He's already gone up against Kryptonians at this point. We're talking about Doomsday here.
This Batman hasn't been up against any of, and I think I was lumping Doomsday in with the
this is
Kryptonians.
one of the last fights, and he's already fought Superman.
I was lumping him in with the
Okay.
Kryptonians. Sorry.
Well, we don't
because
from the look of it, he is Kryptonian DNA reworked.
exactly.
So
It looks like they
Yeah.
use Zod, just like everyone apparently figured out already.
Yeah.
On the internet.
Yeah.
I'm just annoyed at the leaks from DC. I'm annoyed at this trailer telling me so much. I just don't want to know this much about movies before like 4 months
yeah,
before they're released.
this is the same
Right.
problem I had with Suicide Squad. Was if they released any more fucking set photos, I wasn't going to have to watch the movie. I was just going to splice them all together myself and like turn the page really quickly.
Yep.
At this point, I want them all to
Flip book,
go
Suicide Squad.
dark until the movie airs.
Yeah, I really wish they would, but I know they're not. I know they've got to rope in all the people who wouldn't necessarily see them.
Right.
But then part of me is like, I think I'm just gonna stop watching trailers. But then I podcast about these things, so I have to watch them.
Which is really hard.
I'm no longer a casual fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I hate that about
we
sifting
try
through
to-
news too. You end up on spoiler pages and thinking, "Oh man, I really wish I could have avoided that." And you can't.
Yeah, like, I literally like typed in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice IMDb just to see what the budget was for this movie to confirm it for myself, and they're like, it's confirmed that it's a dream sequence. I'm like, what the hell, man?
That sucks.
Like, I didn't even
sucks so
ask for that
much.
information.
Fuck you,
Like,
internet.
costume
Damn it.
designer confirms, and I'm like, why are people on the set just saying, yes, this is a thing? Hello,
Why is the costume designer telling me plot points?
right?
Or the
Get your people under
the
control.
graphics
Actually,
guy.
the
Well, we
costume-
wrapped and there's no Doomsday. Screw you, graphics guy.
Yeah, the graphics guy said there wasn't a Doomsday. Which I guess he's right. It's not Doomsday. It's General Zod. He kind of looks like Doomsday.
Right.
I don't know.
General Doomsday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny as Jason and I before the show were trying to come up with names for Doomsday.
Oh, yeah.
Zoomsday was the closest I got.
What?
Zoomsday was the closest I got. It still wasn't.
Zoomsday?
Yeah,
Zoomsday.
yeah. Well, off Zod, and
He does kind of look like Zoom. I get that.
no, off
said
off
General
Zod. But I was
Doomzod.
trying to put it together, and it just ended up coming off as a Flash thing. We're like, nah, that's not good enough. We just went back to the drawing
Yeah,
board.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
thought, but he does kind of look like Zoom though.
Yeah.
Like if Zoom weren't blurry, you could see that.
All right, I think I'm gonna call it unless we have anything else.
Ah,
Are-
Sorry for being so pessimistic on my first visit.
It's fine.
To
It's
the,
fine.
no, you're in welcome
the,
company with that kind of
What do you
attitude.
call this place?
Yeah. I mean,
What kind of cave is this?
this is a bat cave of my own devising.
I like it here in your cave, Dave. The Dave Cave.
The Dave Cave. That's right. So overall, did this trailer bum you out or make you more excited to see this thing overall?
Bum me out, absolutely.
Jason?
Irrelevant. I was going to sit in anyway. Stop torturing me with new trailers.
Right.
All right. And as for me, it bummed me out, and I really just I'm not nearly looking forward to it as I was, and I'm afraid that DC on screen is going to have to be a little more negative in the future. I mean, I hate it.
That will
I really wanna love
surprise
these things.
exactly 0 people.
Exactly, no one. I try so hard to like
Yeah.
things.
Try to have a little joy.
You said you had the.
I do.
I told the story about like
I do have joy.
when I saw
It's called Rick and Morty and Doctor Who.
right. You said you had the same problem though, where like it almost ruined your date with Bethany when you saw this damn thing. It was like the Dark Knight Rises problem for me.
Yeah. Like it almost ruined your relationship with your fiance,
Right.
and it almost ruined my date with Bethany.
Right.
Like we were driving back to her place, and the trailer dropped. Thanks, Chris White, for throwing that at me. I do appreciate it, Chris.
You knew
but
not
yeah,
what
it
you
was
were
there,
doing.
and it was there, and I was like, oh man, I have to watch this. And I was like, you want to watch it with me? You want to pull over and watch it with me? She's like, I am not nearly as excited about it as you are. Just go ahead and watch it.
I've done that multiple times with my girlfriend. Like, I think the Civil War trailer leaked from Comic-Con. And we pull over, and it's just like random clips from other movies. And I'm like, never mind. Let's keep driving.
Right. The life of a podcast wife.
she gets into it with me, though. She's all right about it.
Well, Bethany normally does, but she was just like, I am not pulling off to the side of the road to watch this thing with you, man.
That totally did that for Civil War.
I get
But
more of
no,
like a Flash is
yeah.
okay, but you guys are weird attitude. That's pretty much.
And she likes Gotham, right?
Oh yeah, she does like Gotham. That's right. She likes time.
Yeah,
she
my
likes the
girlfriend
wee
loves
bat.
Gotham. Yeah,
Wee Bat,
Oh, I
yeah.
love the Wee Bat. I wasn't here for that finale. You already did that finale, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, the
I
mid-season
love
finale.
my favorite thing about that mid-season finale. Spoiler alert! Was Batman saying, or little Bruce saying, I had a perfectly plausible means of escape, and the truth is, it's very possible he did.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he, at the last second, little Saint Cloud yelled out, "Stop!" And then, so we don't know what his
Yeah.
game plan was after that. And it was so great.
Right.
It was so perfect.
And like
There was
neither
a,
Alfred nor Kat actually wanted to disagree with him. It seemed
no, they just kind of
possible.
rolled their eyes like, all right.
Yeah. They apparently they had a bunch of video of like the different stars of Gotham saying which one they were rooting for, Batman or Superman.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't do David Mazouz. the kid that plays Bruce.
Oh yeah.
And I was reading somewhere on the internet is going, how much of a missed opportunity was that? That like everyone's weighing in, and how much they should just have had David Mazouz with that steely glare, just staring at the camera and not answering.
Don't even need a word from the kid. You don't even need a word from the kid.
Like, which one do you like? Steely glaze.
Glaze. Now we gotta get donuts.
No, we don't. We don't.
Steely glaze.
Steely gaze, I mean. But yeah, your eyes do get kind of glazed over, so it still works. I'm not wrong. Shut up, Internet! All right, I'm going to call this episode.
Again.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Yeah. So we are DC On Screen. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher and DCOnScreen.com. We're a proud member of the Giant Size Team Up Network, as is Matt Carroll and the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast.
Woohoo! Hell yeah!
Yay!
Which is on MCUcast.com. Next episode up, we are going to be getting to the big Flash Arrow crossover, or Flaro crossover as people are calling it. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about that for a little bit. So hope you guys join us. Keep some DC on your screen. Don't hate.
Negotiate.
Subscriber rate. I don't know. I'm so sorry.
I've been waiting to open this soda for like 25 minutes.
Oh, I thought that was like I thought you heard me say subscriber rate, and you decided to cock a gun. Like, you're like, well, click, click.
Nope, I won't allow it. Nope.
And stinger.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.